Some common ways of expressing density are just expressing it directly with units. Like for example, density of water is 1000 kilograms per meter cube. And another way is to express it as a ratio. So you can take the density of any fluid divided by the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. This would be like, for example, if you are thinking that fluid to be mercury, so in that case the ratio of densities would be 13,600 kilograms per meter cube divided by 1000 kilograms per meter cube. Water has a density of 1000 at this temperature. So it's used as a reference. This is used as a reference. And so this ratio would be 13.6. This ratio is given a name. It's called specific gravity. It's a historical name. It's the density of a fluid divided by the density of water in any system of unit. You could have this in kg per meter cube or grams per centimeter cube. It would still be the same. Okay. This is one more way of expressing density. A third way is in the form of specific weight, where you take the symbol gamma. This is rho times g. Of course, rho has, if it has units of kg per meter cube, you have meter per second squared. What you have here is Newton per meter cube. It's the weight, it's not mass, it's weight of the fluid per unit volume. So for water, on the surface of Earth, gamma would be 9.8 kilonewton per meter cube. Just as a quick exercise, you can calculate what would be the dimensions of gamma. Gamma would be having the dimensions of weight, which is force divided by volume. So that would be ml t power minus 2 divided by L power minus 3, or this is ml to the minus 2 times P to the minus 2. Okay, we will do this as we go along for many quantities. So the specific weight, specific gravity, and just simply density are three ways of expressing density of a fluid. Next to density, so like for example, if you consider two fluids, one being water and the other being air. So if you take water and air, obviously the density of water is much higher than the density of air. That's one difference. But that is not the only difference between water and air. Or if you want to keep it consistent, if you can take water and you can take a substance like honey, to kind of exaggerate the point I'm trying to make, which is that how easily does water flow when compared to honey. How easily does water flow when compared to honey? And just so in this comparison, honey, water, I'll also add kerosene. So you have a scale. If you have to place them in an order of how easily can they flow, obviously the easiest to flow is kerosene. The next would be water, and the last would be honey. So I'll write this would be the easiest, and this will be the most difficult. If you think of their resistance to flow, honey offers the most resistance you can cast this in terms of resistance. Most resistant to flow, and kerosene is the least, and water is intermediate. So not only they have different densities, obviously they have different densities if you look at them, if you weigh them, but when you try to flow them, like for example if you have a beaker and you are trying to pour the liquid, you have done this a million times with water and honey at home. When you try to open a jar of honey and pour it, or shampoo and pour it, you have to wait for a long time before the liquid actually comes out. That is the resistance to flow. How easily do they flow? And we quantify resistance to flow. Resistance to flow is quantified by a property called viscosity. Whether you have used it or not, you have surely heard of it. Viscosity is something that is used to denote what is the relative ease with which a fluid flows when a shear force is applied on it. When you invert a container, the shear force that you apply is really gravity. It's trying to pull the liquid down. That's what is causing it to flow. Or you can use your hand and try to shear off a surface of honey versus water, and you can find the difference that honey offers more resistance than water. Okay, it's something you can relate from daily experience. So this quantity viscosity is a material property, and in a moment we are going to put this on a more formal footing. Material property that is inherent to the fluid. So it's a fluid property, it could be air, water or whatever fluid, and it has different values for different fluids. Okay?